Please unmute yourself. Sergeant at Arms, unmute and restart, please.
Good evening, dear guests and respected Toastmasters. Welcome to the joint meeting of Aurora Toastmasters Club Qatar and Eloquent Elites Toastmaster Club India. This is truly meeting beyond borders. I am Toastmaster Dharini Rajangam. I am pleased and proud to be your Sergeant at Arms. As Sergeant at Arms, I will share a few online policies we request everyone to follow for the sake of a smooth meeting experience. Please rename yourself according to your roles. All Toastmasters, please prefix TM to your name, and all guests, please prefix guest, so that to help the Zoom master spotlight you appropriately. Please take 10 seconds for this activity.
Okay.
Kindly put your phones and all other beeping devices on silent mode. Please take 5 seconds to do so. Please keep your audio on mute throughout the meeting and unmute your microphone only when you are invited to speak. We encourage everyone to keep your videos on. Speakers certainly feel to see people's faces. Kindly avoid eating or drinking to minimize distraction to the speakers when your video is on. If you need to step away, please turn off your video. Please use the chat on Zoom to provide feedback directly to the speaker after the speech is over. If you are a speaker, then please ensure you pin the timer or confirm the timer screen is visible to you. Please note that this meeting is being recorded. I'm glad to share the mission of Toastmasters. We provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater confidence and personal growth. With such a noble mission, it's but the natural that Toastmasters International community is quite large, with 280,000 members in more than 14,000 clubs across 149 countries and going strong for the last 100 years. Contribution to this tradition of growing leaders is our presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Moiz. Muna is a psychology graduate with profound love for history and languages and teaching. Brought up in Sri Lanka and Japan, studied in Malaysia and Morocco, a passionate educator, a dynamic Toastmaster. She is also a finalist in District 117 for evaluation contest for the past 2 years. She is the immediate past president of Zeal Toastmasters and she is our president of Aurora Toastmaster Club. Over to Toastmaster Muna.
Thank you so much, Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Dharini, for that lovely introduction and for opening our joint meeting on such an energetic note. Good evening, dignitaries, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. It is indeed my honor and privilege to be the presiding officer for this joint meeting between Aurora Toastmasters Club of District 116 and Eloquent Elites Toastmasters Club of District 98. Thank you for spending this light summer evening. I think it's summer wherever we all are with all of us today. As my first job, I will officially open the respective meetings for both clubs. For Aurora Toastmasters Club, it is meeting number 206 And for Eloquent Elites, it's meeting number 87. First, I would like to call upon Vice President Education of Aurora Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Suchitra. Can you please let us know if there are any changes to this agenda that we have?
Yeah. Hello, good evening, everyone. Yeah, there is only one change, that is speaker. Now speaker 2 is giving her speaker 3 now, and speaker 3 is now giving their speech as a speaker 2. Only this one change is there. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suchitra. Please take note that the speaking order has changed. Thank you. I would like to call someone from the floor to adopt this, to propose the adopting of this agenda. Anyone? Can someone propose adopting this agenda, please?
Okay.
Hello,
I'm
I'm doing it.
Eloquent from Aurora Toastmasters Club, and I propose the adoption of the agenda.
Thank
And
you.
anyone to second it?
I'm doing it. The Toastmaster Girija Deshpande from Eloquent Elites Gavel Club, second the adoption of the agenda. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So let us move on. Now, for the benefit of our guests, I believe we have a few guests here. Yes. I would like to explain a little bit about Toastmasters International, this organization, this platform that we are all using here. So Toastmasters is a non-profit organization which empowers individuals all over the world to become efficient communicators and leaders. It was founded by Dr. Ralph Smedley in 1924, and now 100 years later spans across the world, doing this very task for so many people. Aurora Toastmasters Club, the club that I belong to in District 116 here in Qatar, was founded by visionary distinguished Toastmaster Sunita Saini. She saw the need for an all-women's club which met in the mornings because the women were unable to make it for meetings in the evenings. And that is how Aurora Toastmasters Club was born. We boast of 30 plus members, and we have a very rich tradition of producing district leaders and finalists and champions. It is a very safe place for all the ladies where, just like our name suggests, Aurora, the dawn, the way the dawn rises and shines the light on a day, we shine light on each other, helping each other to become the best version of ourselves. Last year, we also made it to the top 10 clubs of District 116. In this joint meeting, this is a collaboration with another club, and I would now like to invite the president of Eloquent Elites Toastmasters Club, distinguished Toastmaster Renosh, to please tell us a little bit about Eloquent Elites Toastmasters Club. Over to you.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Once again, greetings to all Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and guests present in this meeting. Wow, I'm looking forward to this exciting meeting and hopefully to see each and every one of you after the meeting as well. In 2020, Rotary International President Mark Melanie and the then Toastmasters International President, distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon, announced the Rotary Toastmasters collaboration. Toastmaster Girija Deshpande, who has been a Rotarian and a Toastmaster, founded the club Eloquent Elites Toastmasters Club. This is the first Rotary Toastmasters collaboration club in India, and it was the 5th such club in the world. Toastmaster Kusuma Rao was the charter president. Elites is an acronym for empowering leaders of integrity through experience and service. In June 2023, Toastmaster Girija founded the Eloquent Elites Gavel Club. And I'm proud to say that we have over 60 Gaveliers for participating in the Gavel Club. If you would like to know more about our club, please feel free to connect with Toastmaster Girija or myself, or feel free to stay behind at the end of the meeting to know more about us. Over to you, Presiding Officer Toastmaster Mona. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Renosh. Now today, we will witness the synergy, Gamarian, please take note, between the two clubs from District 98 and District 116 to take us through an evening of inspiring speeches and thought-provoking evaluations and a beautiful collaboration. In the past few weeks, the role players from both clubs have worked behind the scenes. We have had meetings to make sure that we can carry out a really good meeting. During this planning, I realized something. A wedding is very similar. When we plan a wedding, it is between two different families who come together for one goal. Just like that, the two clubs have come together for one goal. Also, in a wedding, both families, they have different practices, members of different cultural backgrounds, and so many different perspectives. And it becomes an amalgamation of two parties working together to bring out the best in everybody. So that is something that I felt that just like for a wedding planning, we are trying to create a beautiful event here. Now I would like to recognize the presence of the Division G Director of District 116, also an Aurorian, Toastmaster Purnima Dulipala. She has joined us today from India. Please, I invite you to say a few words for us. Over to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. It's wonderful to see the synergy between elite Toastmasters and Aurorians. It is a beautiful evening to one and all. Let me tell you, all at one place gives goosebumps actually, because the presiding officers, Moiz, and just now I heard from the second elite presiding officer, we know about Rotary clubs, but Rotary has Toastmasters also, which gives a very beautiful feeling, because we know Rotary as the service oriented club, but not Toastmasters, but happy to see them too. So my best wishes to both the officers, both the VPEs and the role players and the speakers. All the best to one and all. And my best wishes to both the clubs. Good to know about the elite also. And we will surely go online and listen to them and see them online. Best wishes, Aurorians, my dear Aurorians, and I'm one of them. I'm proud to be an Aurorian. Over to you, Presiding Officer Muna Moiz. My best wishes to one and all.
Thank you so much, Division G Director, for your very kind and motivating words. Thank you so much for attending and gracing this event despite your busy schedule. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce the front runners for this meeting. That is the Toastmasters of the day. Toastmasters of the day. We have two very special Toastmasters who will be chairing the meeting today, and I'm very proud to introduce them. So the first Toastmaster of the day, that is distinguished Toastmaster Renosh, we already heard him as the president, but we didn't know much about him. So I would like to say something about him. I went through his introduction. I found it very interesting. So he is the president of Eloquent Elites, and he is a coach and creative thinker. He loves organizing programs for children and teenagers. He is the founder of St. Paul's Toastmasters Club and St. Paul's Gavels Club in Bahrain. He has been recognized as one of the top 10 Indian directors by CEO Insights in their 2024 Leaders of the Year from Asia. And his experience in the telecom IT industry comprises for more than 2 decades from the India and the Middle East. We will learn a lot from his experience today. Our next Toastmaster of the day, now she's a dear lady that I have come to cherish a lot. She is what I would say a very valuable and reliable member of Aurora Toastmasters Club. Very calm, but she will do her task to the T perfectly. She's passionate for music, dance, and travel. And joining Toastmasters has empowered her to communicate more confidently. So, with all the eagerness to see where this meeting takes us, I now proudly hand over the baton to Toastmaster Bessy to take it away. Over to you, Toastmaster Bessy.
Thank you, Presiding Officer Toastmaster Mona, for your kind introduction. Greetings, my dear fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Welcome to this special meeting, joint meeting of not one, but two powerful and passionate clubs, Aurora Toastmasters and Eloquent Elites Toastmasters. I'm Bessy Jayan, a proud member of the Aurora Toastmasters Club, and I'm delighted to serve as one of your Toastmasters of the day for this special session. Today isn't just another meeting. It's a celebration of what makes Toastmasters unique, our ability to connect, communicate, and grow together, regardless of club boundaries. We are united today under the shared vision of empowering individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. And what better way to do that than to blend the brilliance, energy, and diversity of two outstanding clubs. Before we dive into agenda, let's take a moment to reflect on today's date. What's today's date? August 9th, right? This day is observed as a special day internationally. Do you all know why? It's International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples, established by the United Nations in 1994. It celebrates culture, peace, and human rights. It's a reminder of how diverse, beautiful, and connected our world truly is. There's another specialty about August 9th. Toastmaster Dharini, could you please tell me what's special about today?
Today is Singapore's National Day, and I'm a Singaporean.
Exactly.
So
Thank
that
you.
really gives
Yeah.
another added for us to celebrate the culture
right.
and diversity.
Thank you. A nation built on multicultural harmony. Now, today's meeting is centered around the theme, Many Cultures, One Humanity, a topic that beautifully captures the idea that while we come from diverse backgrounds, speak different languages, practice different traditions, we are all fundamentally connected as human beings. Now, imagine a world map, not marked by borders, but by stories. Stories of people who sing different songs, eat different foods, speak different tongues, yet feel joy, grief, love, and hope the same way. That's the world we live in. Today, as we explore the theme Many Cultures, One Humanity, we celebrate not just our differences, but the deep connection that binds us all. Here at Toastmaster, we represent different languages, traditions, and beliefs. Yet, we come together with one shared goal, to grow, connect, and become better communicators in one screen. So, let's celebrate what makes us unique and what makes us one. The meeting is divided into 3 parts. The first part is prepared speeches, followed by table topic section or impromptu speech. The third is the evaluation segment. This will be led by our general evaluator. Before we start with the first segment, I would like to introduce a wonderful team who will guide us for the smooth running of the meeting. First, I take the privilege to introduce our very special guest, Indian at heart and global in spirit. Born in Mumbai and brought up in Qatar, a computer science graduate from Mumbai University, has been working as IT director at DHL Express Qatar for more than 20 years. A cheerful personality, a dreamer, a globetrotter who believes in doing extraordinarily well and loves to live life to the fullest. A committed Toastmaster who has been in this journey for more than 17 years. He has been honored with multiple awards, achieved Triple Crown 5 times, the recent one being the Powerhouse Performer Award at the District 116 Toastmasters Annual Conference 2025 in Qatar. For him, this theme reflects the idea that all of humanity is interconnected. It aligns with the belief that we are all part of a global family. One must respect all cultures and firmly believe that diversity is a strength by being human. Please help me welcome our General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster, Christopher Almeida. The virtual stage is yours, sir.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests, good evening. General Evaluator, just as the name sounds, evaluation of anything and everything that happens during the meeting. Now, if you see this club meeting as a project, the Toastmaster of the day is the project manager. General Evaluator is an auditor. Just to give you some context, I would be making notes of all the good things that happened during the meeting and also that doesn't happen. And in my segment, I will give my personal observation about today's meeting. Wish you all the very best. Happy learning. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Next, our grammarian, who will introduce the word of the day. A banker by profession, but an educator by passion. A mother of 4 children, living in Qatar, who derives great joy teaching and inspiring the next generation of leaders. Her view on the theme, our tongues may differ in taste, but our hearts beat the same towards love, respect, and acceptance, providing that beneath our differences, we are one in humanity. Beautifully framed. Welcome, Toastmaster Toyin. Kindly unveil the word of the day and explain the role. Over to you, Toastmaster Toyin.
Greetings, Toastmasters of today, Mr. and Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It is usually said that almost anyone can cook, but it takes a seasoned chef to craft a dish that delights the senses and tell a story. Similarly, anyone can speak. It takes an excellent speaker to communicate with clarity, purpose, and impact. In both crafts, the secret lies in mastering the fundamentals. Just as a chef depends on technique and balance, a speaker relies on grammar to structure thoughts, enhance expression, and engage the audience. Our goal as Toastmasters is to be that seasoned speaker, someone who speaks with intention, precision, and confidence. And that is why the role of the grammarian is vital in every meeting. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to how language is used, grammar, word choice, sentence structure, and overall clarity. I'll take note of effective language, interesting or powerful phrases, and also provide a gentle feedback on any common errors or areas for improvement. For today's word, our word of today is synergy. Synergy, which means the combined power that can be achieved by 2 groups of people working together rather than separately. I'll give 2 examples of how we can use this word of the day. The successful product launch is as a result of the synergy between the teams. The second example, the energy between our clubs brings better ideas and stronger bonds. Don't you agree? Please remember that each time the word of the day is given, it's another ingredient added to become the seasoned speaker we all strive to be. So I encourage everyone to use the word of the day. I'll give the report, grammarian's report, when called upon during the meeting, and also report the usage of the word of the day. Thank you, Madam Toastmasters. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Toi. What a fitting word for today's theme of unity and culture. Request all to use the word of the day. Next, moving on to the next role player, our counter, who will help us become more aware of filler words. A biotechnologist and a proud mother of 2 boys, curious by nature, love exploring science and life with equal passion. Balancing work, family, and creativity keeps her on her toes. We wear different clothes, that's a view of the theme, speak different tongues, pray in many ways, and celebrate in countless colors. Our music, our food, our festivals may differ, but the smile, the tears, the love in our hearts are the same. Across all borders and beliefs, one truth remains. Many cultures, one humanity. Please welcome Toastmaster Adarsha Reddy.
Good evening, everyone. Today, I am your verbal traffic cop, also known as your R counter. My job is to search the small, tiny bumps in your speeches, like what, like those thoughts that sneak into our mind before our words. I will not give you any tickets. I'll simply make note of every verbal detour you make. And at the end, I will submit my report. Don't worry, no fines, just a friendly feedback. Thank you. Over to you, Bessy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Adarsha. An active listener, a veteran of the sales industry, who is presently associated with 2 NGOs, non-governmental organization, CRY, Child Rights and Youth, and Teach for India. His efforts have been to connect with purposeful and impactful volunteering opportunities. As a teacher at the NGO, what amazes him is the enthusiasm of the kids coming from challenging backgrounds. This role is a true reflection of what it means to be human, compassionate, present, and purposeful. Join your hands to welcome Toastmaster Sridhar Krishnan.
Thank you, TMoD. For those who've been to Dubai, there's a place called Global Village, where 6 months in a year, people from all over the world come to sell their stuff. Can't be better than this. This is actually a global village where people from all over the world have come here. Today, I am your active listener. Throughout the meeting, I'll be paying close attention to what's being said as speeches, table topics, evaluations, and even casual conversations. At the end of the meeting, I'll ask a few questions to see how well you have been listening. So stay sharp. Let's have some fun. Over back to you, TMoD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sridhar Krishnan. Finally, our timer, who ensures we respect time, something valued in every culture. Toastmaster Darsh Chedda is a part of the venture capital and private equity team and Nippon India Mutual Funds. In his free time, he enjoys playing sports and listening to music. His view on the theme: the many cultures we see are simply temporary designations that apply only to the physical body. Our true identity is different. We are all eternal spirit souls. Therefore, we should try helping people in need and collaborating with those around you. Let's hear from Toastmaster Darsh, his role as a timer, to explain the timing criteria for the prepared speech section.
Okay, firstly, it's great to see that people from all over the world joining. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on wherever you are. I am Toastmaster Darsh Chedda.
Darsh, can you please increase your volume?
I am sorry. Am I audible now?
You are.
Great.
Thank you. Sorry for interrupting.
So once again, just want to say how glad I am that people from all over the world are joining. So once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on wherever you're located. I will be the timer for today. I am very proud to take this role. A timer is the backbone of meetings. Following timelines is a hallmark of professionalism, and Toastmasters has given us an excellent tool to train us in keeping any speech and meeting within timelines. So today, there will be 3 speeches and 3 sections. I will be presenting the timelines for each section at the beginning of that section. I am now giving the timelines for the prepared speech section. So we have 3 speeches today. The first speech will be from Toastmaster Abinaya Kumarasamy. I hope I'm pronouncing the name properly. If not, then please correct me. She will be presenting her icebreaker. Toastmaster Abinaya, all the very best for your icebreaker speech. The screen will be showing a white background when you begin the speech. As you can see, this is the background that will be presenting, and it will remain on till 4 minutes of your speech. At 4 minutes, the screen will then turn green, as you will be able to see right now. So at 4 minutes, the screen will turn to green. At 5 minutes, the screen will become yellow, as you can see from the screen right now. At 6 minutes, the screen will turn red and will remain red till the speech gets over. The second speaker will be Toastmaster Girija, and she is presenting her level 4 elective project and will be presenting a podcast. The speech requires to present an introduction to her project in 2 to 3 minutes. So the screen will remain white when the speech begins and will remain white up to 2 minutes. At 2 minutes, the screen will turn green. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, the screen will turn yellow. At 3 minutes, the screen will turn red and will remain red until the speech gets over. After the introduction, the speaker is required to play her podcast for a minimum of 5 to 10 minutes. Speaker today will share her podcast for maximum 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, the screen will turn green. At 6 minutes, the screen will turn yellow. And at 7 minutes, the screen will turn red. The speaker will turn off the podcast by then. The third speaker, Toastmaster MONIKA GUPTA, is presenting level 1, project 2. Timing allocated for this speech will be 5 minutes to 7 minutes. The screen will remain white at the beginning of the speech and will remain white until 5 minutes. At 5 minutes, the screen will turn green. At 6 minutes, the screen will turn yellow. And I believe at 6 minutes, at 7 minutes, the screen will turn red and will remain red until the speech gets over. For your information, speeches less than the minimum stipulated time and exceeding 30 seconds beyond the maximum time do not qualify for voting. I will present the timing report when called for. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Darsh. Now that we have set the stage and are all warmed up, it's time for one of the core highlights of any Toastmasters meeting, the prepared speech segment. To take us through this exciting segment, it's my pleasure to hand over to my fellow Toastmaster and co-host, distinguished Toastmaster Renosh, who will be introducing our speakers and guiding us through the session. Over to you, my fellow Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bessy, and greetings to all the fellow Toastmasters and guests present in this meeting. Fantastic. We are all joining from different countries, all the way from US to Singapore and all that in between. But what is the synergy that binds us together? Humanity. Culinary traditions, though as diverse as the cultures from which they originate, serve as a profound testament to our shared humanity. I request each and every one of you to put in the chat box 2 of your favorite dishes. Come on, let's get this engagement going on. Put in the chat box 2 of your favorite dishes. All right. From the comforting warmth of a grandmother's homemade chicken masala to the communal joy of a bustling street food market. The simple act of sharing a meal, be it a family feast of fragrant Indian dishes, appam and stew in the south, to butter chicken, rajma chawal, dal makhani in the North India, pav bhaji, tepla, Goan fish curry in the west, to khichdi, machar jhol, roshagulla in the east. Oof. From tacos in Mexico, a bowl of satisfying Italian pasta. I'm in the Middle East. Right now I'm speaking to you from Dubai. A spread of aromatic Middle Eastern meze of kebabs, to all the way to dim sum in China, to sushi in Japanese cuisine. Oh boy, my mouth is watering. Stay with me. This is to be continued. Are you ready for the first section, the prepared speeches? Give me a thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for the prepared speeches? Fantastic. We have 3 speakers today. What a coincidence. All speakers are giving their speeches based on the presentation mastery path. Was there a synergy behind this? Before I call upon the first speaker, let me call his evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster, Anutosh Ghosh, to read the objectives of the speech. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Anutosh.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Renosh Thomas. Today, the speaker will be attempting her icebreaker project from the path presentation mastery. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Timer has already mentioned the speech length will be of 4 to 6 minutes. Also, since the speaker is starting her first speech in her Toastmasters journey, I would request all the audience members to kindly give a standing ovation after the completion of the speech. Thank you so much, and I wish all the best to the speaker. Over to the Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Renosh. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Anutosh Ghosh. A former IT professional with around 10 years of experience, now a certified life coach based in Qatar. She's passionate about personal growth, adventure, and empowering women. As a sports person and trekker, pushing limits is her way of life. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our first speaker, Toastmaster Abinaya Kumarasamy from Aurora Toastmasters Club. But before she starts, hi, Toastmaster Abinaya. Are you able to hear me loud and clear?
Yes, Toastmaster of the day.
And that is your
Am I
speaking.
audible?
You're audible and visible, and you can take your speaking position. Please make sure to pin the timer or at least have the timer visible on your screen.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Attempting presentation mastery, path 1, project 1, icebreaker. Toastmaster Abinaya Kumarasamy with the speech title, Trust Your Journey. Trust Your Journey, Toastmaster Abinaya Kumarasamy. All the best. The virtual floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, distinguished Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Have you ever looked back at your life and thought, this is not what I planned, but maybe it's exactly what I needed? I have many times. And to understand why, let me take you back to where it all began. I was born and brought up in Erode, Tamil Nadu, a small town known for turmeric and textiles. I'm the middle child in my family, sandwiched between an elder sister and a younger brother. And like most middle children, I have had my fair share of balancing expectations and finding my own voice. As a schoolgirl, I dreamed of becoming a lawyer, not because I enjoyed arguments, but because I genuinely wanted to help people. That was my innocent, heartfelt desire. But life had other plans. Like many others, I followed the crowd and pursued engineering. This is the safe path, I told myself. In my final year, I was thrilled to be selected by a reputed IT company until they said, we will call you anytime within 10 months. So, in the meantime, just to stay occupied, I joined a marine college that had openings in administration. What started as a temporary step turned into a turning point within just 2 months. Seeing my performance, the managing director created a secretary role and promoted me. I never heard back from the IT company, but by then I didn't mind. I was genuinely interested in this job. I was trusted with top level responsibilities and I learned so much. It felt like life had its own plans for me. But back home, not everyone was thrilled. My parents and siblings couldn't accept an engineer working in what they felt was an irrelevant sector. Still, I respected their wishes, and after 2 years, I stepped away and decided to re enter IT. I did some courses, got placed again, and began climbing the ladder, switching jobs, growing professionally, and then came COVID, which turned me into a full time work from home employee. Then came another unexpected twist: marriage. I had never dreamt of marrying someone living abroad, but life had other ideas. I got married, moved here, and now living a happy, understanding life with my husband. But just when things just felt settled, a health issue came my way. I had to resign from my job. And suddenly, a girl who had worked for 10 years, who loved being around people, found herself sitting alone at a home, feeling emotionally drained. I couldn't sit idle. I was searching for something to keep me engaged and alive. That's when I discovered the world of life coaching, a profession I had never heard of before. But once I explored it, I felt uh, I had found my calling. I completed the courses, got certified, and today I proudly say I help people not in a courtroom with a black coat, but by helping them fight their fears, find their strength, and reclaim their confidence. Isn't that what I always wanted? My journey hasn't been a single straight line. It's been filled with turns, pauses, restarts, and surprises. But every step, even the ones I didn't choose, taught me something valuable. Looking back, I realized that no matter where I was in the marine college, the IT industry, or now as a life coach, one thing has always mattered to me: the ability to express myself and connect with people. That's why, even during my working days, I had a strong desire to join Toastmasters, to improve my communication with clients and speak more confidently in meetings. But somehow, life was always too busy. Now, as I step into this new chapter of public speaking and creating social media content, I told myself it's now or never. And now I'm in this club to grow, learn, and thrive in synergy with all of you. So, If there is one message I would like to leave you with today, it is this: trust your journey, even when it doesn't make sense. Because sometimes the detour is the real destination. Thank you.
Toastmaster Abinaya, a standing ovation to you. This is your icebreaker speech, your first
Thank you so
attempt in
much.
Toastmasters journey. We all are there. Kudos to you. You're there too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
What a roller coaster ride. Toastmaster Abinaya. Thank you. Let's take a minute and please give your feedback to the speaker in the chat box. Give your encouragement. While you do that, before I call on the stage the second speaker, let me invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Vijayalata Valuri from Aurora Toastmasters Club, to read the objectives of the speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Vijayalata.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, and good evening once again. The second speaker of the day, Toastmaster Girija Deshpande, is giving her level 4 project 1 of presentation mastery. The purpose of this project is for the member to be introduced to the skills needed to organize and present a podcast. The purpose of this speech is for the member of the podcast. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijayalata, founder of Eloquent Elites Toastmasters Club, currently serving as the Vice President Education, founder and counselor of Eloquent Elites Gavels Club, a content writer, YouTuber, coach, founder director of DG Consulting, an HR consultancy firm. Put your hands together to welcome our second speaker, Toastmaster Girija Deshpande, who is attempting her presentation mastery path level 4, project 1, create a podcast. Let me just make sure. Yes, Toastmaster Girija.
Thank you.
She is
And
audible and
do I have your
visible.
permission to share the
Yes.
presentation? Yes.
Just before you take on the stage, Toastmaster Girija Deshpande with the podcast title, Building Resilience to Addictions. Building Resilience to Addictions, Toastmaster Girija Deshpande. All the best. Virtual floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I'm just sharing the presentation. Is it visible? I hope yes. Right. So here you see that I'm presenting my fourth project, level 4, and elective making a podcast. Now, most of us know what is a podcast. We have experienced it, but to just understand it specifically, what exactly is a podcast? It is a digital audio or a video program. It has to be distributed over the internet. It should be available for download of a streaming, and it is usually released in series of episodes. It can be listened to at any time, paused, and resumed later. It can cover a wide range of topics, different formats like interviews, solo shows, storytelling, everything can be explored. Why is podcast a new age skill? Because it is accessible to everybody, low cost. Just click the YouTube and you get it. You don't have to have specific apps or anything to access it. Easily accessible and also easily disseminable. You can make your own content, create it and share it. It is democratic. Anybody can do it. And the cultural impact is very high. Young voices are heard and shared more and more now because of this. It is fostering innovation and change. And now we also find very experienced senior citizens. They are able to share their knowledge and experience through podcast a lot. Then it is also community building. Like today, people from all corners of the world are together. It enables us to come in together. It builds synergy. People with shared interests can meet together and express their thoughts and way to grow, explore them. There is growth in awareness because there is widespread acceptance and relevance of podcasts. People find it on the go, in the bus, in taxis, anywhere they can watch. So it is very relevant. Everyday topics are discussed as well as old age knowledge is being discussed. So you can get anything under the sun in podcast. It is a versatile medium. You can use it for personal use as well as you can use it as a business platform. If I want to teach people English grammar, I do it along with podcast. And if I want to share a story, I can do it along with podcast. Then the salient features of an effective podcast are these. It is engaging storytelling. So compelling narrative to keep the audiences invested. And it has a consistent format, regular release schedule. It is very important to have that. That is when people know that you are going to release it on Thursday, Friday, and then they expect it, and they at that time they are waiting, or they fix it in the calendar, block the calendar, and they are available to listen to you. That is when you create that kind of following. And you create that following by being prompt and following that consistency. Quality audio is very important. Clear and professional sound to enhance the listener's experience. That we must see that we are in a noise-free environment, and then we are able to produce it. If you have a studio, all the good, all the best, but then it's not necessary that you have to have a studio, because all my podcasts have been in plain spaces, but they have been very clear. Strong guest preparation. It's very important to engage with the guest prior to the talk. Explain what is the purpose of the talk, who are likely to be the audiences, so that they know how to engage the audience effectively. Whether it has to be multi-language, it has to be single language, what exactly should be the focus. Then the quality of the content, interesting, relevant topics that resonate with your audience, who are going to watch you. Do some research on it. As and when the time evolves and the audience age range, qualification, everything widens, you can also increase. But first, start with a specific audience in mind, and then it widens. So be aware of your audience, keep interacting with your audience, and enhance the quality. So my podcasts have been in all the format. There is a solo format. I've introduced only one. Interviews, yes. I know your strengths. I did it with Vibhuti Jha, who is actually doing from US also podcasts. So along with him, I had done Know Your Strengths. So know your individual strengths, know the strength of your culture, know the strength of your nation, know the strength of your family, know the strength of your emotions. There are so many areas where you can harness our strengths, and we do not know that. And we always harp on what we do not have, and then we suffer. So this is the focus of that particular thing. So around 21 episodes of it I had. Then I also started with what is known as de-addiction drive, because it was done with Rotary Club of De-Addiction and Rotary Club of Mumbai Elite together. Representing both of them, I launched these podcasts. There were about 18 of them. So it dealt with all varieties of addiction, whether it is shopping, whether it is reading, whether it is digital detox, and smoking, alcohol, drugs, all kinds of addictions were dealt with, why people get into it, how it can be, what are the various factors that promote these kind of things, what various other practices happen which make these addictions more pronounced, and what kind of effects it has on the family as well as the person who is indulging in those addictions. So as you can see, there are different topics. Some of the addicts themselves who have improved and or who have come out of it also came and spoke about how they went through that and how they came out of it. It was very enlightening, and people felt quite enhanced in their skills and knowledge, and felt that they were educated after those particular events. So we had these, and then these were the interview types of podcasts. And then I had a solo podcast which was presented at India CSR Summit on behalf of Rotary. It was about the child pediatric surgery, pediatric heart surgery. Why is it important? Why need people need to donate? We had taken it as a project, so I had presented that. And then I also presented some stories both in Tamil and in English. So these are the stories that I presented, about 10 of them, and they are in English as well as in Tamil. The same stories translated in Tamil. The original stories were in Tamil, and I translated it in English, and both of them were presented. As of today, I'm going to present this particular podcast, and that is how I will just stop sharing this, and I will go to the podcast. Thank you so much. Yes.
How can parents, teachers,
If you can hear me?
organizations play a part here to prevent addiction?
Yes.
Yes. There is this beautiful quote by Franklin Douglas, which says that it is easier to it is easier to build stronger children than to repair broken men. Okay, and that's what we had just touched it a little bit at the start of today's talk. Is that what role parents, teachers, or the society can do is catch them young, start at a very young age, and as young as they're 2 or 3 years of old, to build those healthy psychological traits, healthy coping mechanisms in children. Okay, that will significantly reduce not just vulnerability to addiction, but possibly vulnerability to many mental disorders. Okay. So the role of parents and teachers in organization, if anybody out there is listening today who is in a position to make policy changes, I am of the opinion, very strong opinion, along with my other colleagues in the fraternity, that mental health should be added as a subject in our schools. Okay, we have physical fitness, we have sports, we have abacus, we have, I don't know, my son is in first standard and I see so many goddamn subjects that are introduced and formally taught to the children. Why can't we teach formally the psychological coping skills to the children right from start? I have seen children as young as 3 and 4 years of age entering into bullying. Okay, they bully others, they literally bully others, they tease others. If that continues, we are looking at somebody who is going to have problems in impulse control, anger management, stress management, and they are going to be prone to addictions tomorrow. Right. So when parents say or teachers say, it will not have so much impact as when it is a formal system. It has to be a formal education. Right. Yeah. And when we're talking about brain changing in addiction, just imagine if the right connections are so well formed, so strong, a substance will not have a chance to, change those already consolidated healthy connections inside. Okay. Rather, it comes down to the first choice. There was an interesting study made between, they had literally compared users versus non-users of substances. Okay. And we're still struggling to find out what are the protective factors. We've identified risk factors. Yeah. 2 siblings in same family, one lands up into addiction, one doesn't. And it comes right from the point where a person has those couple of drinks, but he decides not to choose further. Yeah. So it boils down to that very small aspect of making that choice and continuing with the choice of any substance or any behavior, which can be addictive. Now, what is the difference? So what they found in that research is that the person who did not continue the use, he said that it is because of my personal values. Oh. So nice. Okay. Personal values. Now, what are those personal values? That is still under research. Okay. Yeah. So he said, I just don't like the taste. I have better tasting things in my life. I don't want that taste anymore. Okay. Exactly. Yeah. I don't get any high from here. I already get high from my music. Yeah, exactly. I have heard many people say this. Yes. Yeah. Right. So let others drink. I don't want. And sometimes it is just because I am so confident and I am so much having that self-assured thing that this is wrong, this is not worth it, and I will not go for it no matter the peer pressure, no matter status symbol, no matter any crisis in my life. Exactly. Just a strong value of that. Yes. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. So if we can do that organizations, parents, teachers actively teach coping skills. I see parents going behind the children ki maths kyun nahi achhe se aa raha hai. Why can't we go behind the children and say ki why are you not able to manage your emotions? Let me teach that also to you. Yeah. Why do you get angry like this? Or why do you go cry for long hours? Or why do you like to sit alone in your room? Why are you playing for such a long time your digital this thing? So these are the things that parents should be focusing on. Correct. Yeah, absolutely. So that needs to be definitely an important skill that parents and teachers and organizations have to pay attention to the mental health of the employees. Who also talked to me about psychometric testing that can be used to understand if a person is intrinsically prone to addiction.
So if organizations can conduct the test and do something about it, give them some psychological or maybe some sort of sessions where they can strengthen themselves. Will it not
Develop those skills, yeah.
Yeah.
Or work on those traits, which can make you prone to addiction. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That is quite much needed. Because I think few risk factors have been very much identified in terms of, as we discuss, impulse control, sensation-seeking behaviors, risk-taking behaviors, and that can be assessed from psychometric tests.
Yes.
Right. So if your employees are, some of the employees are higher on that, not that they will certainly get addicted, but there is a chance.
Possibility.
And why not cut that possibility right in the bud itself? No, why wait till the problem actually escalates and then it becomes a tough recovery?
Right. And many boys and girls are employed from the campus directly at the age of, say, 22, 23 and all that.
True.
So right then there, if it is conducted and then they are introduced to positive addiction, like you talked about positive addiction when we were talking, then probably they will be able to divert themselves from it. So talk a little, doctor, about positive addiction.
If you're a woman over 40, this is how you get in shape fast. Have you seen this guy? You know, the one that keeps telling us to
stop running on the treadmill.
Absolutely. So yes, positive addictions are extremely crucial. Again, coming back to early development of positive addictions, if somebody has already known the high that they can get from dance, music, art, all these things, very less chance that they will be waiting or driven towards the other high from the substances. Okay, that is in the prevention. Second is, even in the recovery period, when we're talking about craving management, urge management, somewhere to regulate those dopamine reward.
Thank you. Unfortunately, due to time constraint, we will have to stop it at this, but it gives us an inkling about how we need to look into addictions and with compassion, with synergy, if there is a synergy between parents, teachers, organizations, supporting individuals, medical professionals, and she talks about medical professionals from all different kinds of areas, whether it is homeopathy, allopathy, all kinds of medicines. It can be really helpful. So this was the attitude with which the entire series was hosted. Thank you very much, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Girija. Such a relevant podcast at this age for each and every one of us. Now I know whom to reach out to if I have anything to ask for podcasts. Thank you, Toastmaster Girija Deshpande. And I request each of the members and guests present here to take a minute and give your feedback to the speaker on the chat box. And while you do so, let me invite Toastmaster Namita Suvarna, evaluator of our third speaker, to read the objectives of the speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Namita.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Speaker Monika will be presenting Level 1 Project 2, that is writing speech with a purpose. The core of L1P2 is to understand that speech needs a purpose beyond simply delivering information. Speech length, as mentioned by timer, is 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Namita. An engineer by profession, an educator by choice, mother of two. She loves adventure, traveling, and trekking, curious to know everything. She believes every journey is a lesson and every is an inspiration. Put your hands together to welcome our third speaker, Toastmaster MONIKA GUPTA, doing her presentation mastery path, level 1, project 2, writing a speech with purpose. Toastmaster MONIKA, I believe that's your speaking position. Can you say a few words? Can I just to check your audio?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, audible and visible, and just make sure that you have pinned the timer, or at least the timer is visible on your screen. All right, good. Toastmaster Monika Gupta with the speech title, A Salty Tale of Sweet Identity. A Salty Tale of Sweet Identity. Toastmaster Monika Gupta. All the best. Virtual floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. A very good evening to distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guest. First of all, I love the synergy of this joint meeting. So let me start by asking you a strange question. Have you ever loved something so much that you wanted to change your name after that? Don't laugh. I'm going to tell you a true story today. This is the story about a girl named Barkha. Those who do not know Indian language Hindi, Barkha means rain. So Barkha was this 5-year-old, vivacious, talkative, little girl who has the biggest appetite for only one thing. Guess what? Toys? No. Chocolates? Not even chocolates. Cartoons? Not even chocolates. Not even cartoons. Ladies and gentlemen, she has the biggest appetite for a biscuit. Yes, you heard it right, for a biscuit. And not any biscuit, but Monaco biscuit. Those perfectly round, salty, crispy, golden biscuits, which comes in yellow wrapper. So, Barkha, she fell in love with those biscuits when she was 3 years old. She loved those biscuits like Romeo loved Juliet. When she was 3 years old, one bite and boom, magic. The biscuit became her passion. It was not a snack anymore. And I know you must be laughing because you have had those biscuits too, maybe with tea, coffee, or as a snack, or maybe sometime with those cheese toppings on top of that. So for Barkha, those biscuits were for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, even in her lunchbox. She would hide them behind her storybooks. She would hide them inside her secret drawer. And, sometimes she used to keep those biscuits in her pocket of the night suit and sleep. Her mother tried everything. She tried baking different bread. She tried different foods. She even tried chocolates so that she can leave the obsession of that biscuit, but she would never leave that one true love of her Monaco biscuits. So one day something hilarious happened. Her class teacher in the class asked all the students to come one by one, tell their name and tell what they love. So when Barkha's turn came, she went there very confidently and she said, my name is Barkha, but I wish it is Monaco because Monaco biscuits are the best thing ever. The class burst out laughing. Teacher was blinking. She was amazed what she's saying. And Barkha, she stood firmly. And from that day onward, she refused to respond to Barkha. She would say, my name is Monaco, call me Monaco, with the seriousness and conviction of a 5-year-old who was in an identity crisis. Her mother thought it is just a brief phase. It is just a brief obsession. But her father, he was relieved that at least my daughter is not demanding to be called crackjack. Her mother said, dear Barkha, this is not a name, it's just a snack. She would reply, so what? Biscuits are better than boring names. Now, the stories started coming from all around, from the neighborhood, from her friends, everywhere, from her school. And one day she gathered the courage to talk to her principal and ask him, sir, please change my name from Barkha to Monaco. And now the matter became serious. Her parents were called to the school and a lot of discussion happened. And one day she was called to the principal's office. She went there with a lot of hope and excitement. And as she entered the principal's office, principal said, "Sweetheart, Monaco, is that even a name?" Poor Barkha's face fell. She said, "What is it then? I want my name to be Monaco." Principal said, "Sorry, we cannot give you this name. So what? I can do one thing for you, that we can give you some name which sounds like Monaco, but it is not Monaco. What do you think about Monica?" And just like that, Barkha became Monica. And problem was solved, Biscuit was honored, and everyone was happy. So this story, I know you must be laughing, and I hope you are laughing, because this slightly innocent and slightly salty tale has something hidden in it, which we adults often forget today. Monica, formerly Barkha, reminds us of something we adults often forget. She reminds us that identity is personal, it is emotional, and it is ours, and we cannot share it with anybody. She didn't care what was normal. She didn't care what people will think about it. She just wanted to be true to one thing which made her smile, even though that thing came in a yellow wrapper with perforated edges. Some people find themselves in art. Some people find themselves in music, and some in purpose. But little Barkha found herself in a packet of biscuit. So next time when someone tells you that your dreams are weird, your ideas are silly, or your choice is just a biscuit, just remember her, and remember that if you choose your path, your name, or your dream, and if you think that it makes you happy, follow it, and never think about what the world will say or the people will say, because sometimes the sweetest stories are also the saltiest one. Thank you so much, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
That's a salty, sweet synergy. And I'm sure, Toastmaster Monica, there is a Monaco biscuit somewhere nearby in that room. Thank you, Toastmaster Monica Gupta. Please take a minute and give your feedback to the speaker on the chat box. I request the timer, Toastmaster Darsh, for the report before we run the poll for the best speaker. Over to you, timer, Toastmaster Darsh.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Renosh Thomas. I will now be sharing my report. Speaker 1, Abinaya, took 5 minutes and 26 seconds. That was within the timeline. Speaker 2, Girija, her introduction was about 6 minutes and 25 seconds, while her podcast was 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Speaker 3, Monica, took 7 minutes and 7 seconds. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, timer Toastmaster Darsh. I believe we can proceed with the poll for the best speaker. Thank you. Can I call the Zoom master to kindly run the poll for the best speaker, and it will come on your screen shortly. And while that is happening, yes, there you go. Please proceed and vote for the best speaker. All right. Food is a universal language that transcends borders and benefits and beliefs, builds bridges of understanding and connection. Each dish tells a story of history, climate, and innovation, yet all are crafted from the same basic human desire to nourish, to celebrate, and to connect. In the vibrant tapestry of global cuisines, we find not only a celebration of our differences, but a powerful reminder of what unites Toastmasters all around the table. I'm going to have my masala chai now. So it's time for me to call my co-Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Bessy, to take us to the second section, a very exciting part of our meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Bessy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Renosh. As we explore this theme, remember, it's the synergy of our shared humanity that makes the world a better place. We may come from many cultures, but through connection and communication, we move forward as one. No matter where we come from, whether it's India, Nigeria, Japan, or Canada, every culture has one thing in common: festivals. To all Indians out there, today, what special festival are we celebrating? Anyone?
Raksha Bandhan.
Raksha Bandhan.
Exactly. Thank you.
And
A
we
cherished
also have
festival.
Abinaya.
Right. Oh,
Yeah, that is one
cherished.
ceremony which is there in the south, yes, where people
right.
change threads.
Okay.
Yeah.
A cherished festival between a bond between brothers and sisters.
Yes.
From Diwali in India to Carnival in Brazil, from Thanksgiving in the US to Obon in Japan, festivals are the soul of our cultures. Now, who here has danced in the rain during Holi or Songkran? Songkran is a festival that's held in Thailand. Has anyone danced in the rain during Holi?
Yes.
Okay, I see two hands raised. That's nice. Now, have you ever worn traditional clothes just for the snacks? Be honest. I have. Now, festivals are not just cultural events. These celebrations are reminders that joy, love, gratitude, and community are universal. Whether it's lighting candles, sharing food, dancing, or simply gathering, these acts unite us across borders. Now, we move on to the most spontaneous part of the meeting, table topics, where we learn to speak off the cuff. Table Topics Master Nisha Sanjeev is a corporate legal professional, a Toastmaster since 2020, and a mother of two young bride boys. She has varied interests, including reading and listening to music. She shares a view by giving a classic example that India, with its multitude of languages, cultures, religions, and traditions, every Indian brings something unique to the table, yet remain united as one nation. True unity is not about being the same, it's about respecting our differences. Well said. To lead us, please welcome our Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Nisha Sanjeev, who's ready to sprinkle some festival magic with questions that may just surprise us. Please remember to use the word of the day, synergy, in your speech. Toastmaster Nisha Sanjeev, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Good evening to all. Welcome to the table topic session. I will be the table topic master for the evening. I'm so glad to see such a great gathering of so many people. It's a good synergy of two Toastmaster clubs. So many cultures, one humanity. This so epitomizes India. India is a land of many states, many languages, many cultures, and hence many synergies. Now, before we start the session, I want to just give you a few quick tips about what table topics mainly is. Table topics is impromptu speaking from your heart, speaking on the spur. It's unfiltered. So let your thoughts flow. Let go of all your inhibitions. I know there are a lot of guests here today. I would encourage all of them to do participate. Please remember that don't be a judge of yourself, because table topics is the best platform to kill your fears and to learn public speaking really well. I think all the good Toastmasters who really made it big in the Toastmasters community have all started by being very good public speakers because they have participated really well in table topics to start with. So let's keep that in mind. Also, in terms of timing, I would encourage that we keep the timing to 1 to 2 minutes. You must talk till you see the green card flashing. You must start to conclude when you see the red card flashing. You will get 30 seconds to when you see the red card, once the red card is on the screen. Of course, the word of the day today is a beautiful word, the word synergy. Please do use it as much as you can. With that, I would want to start the session and I would encourage everybody to do participate. I would request the Zoom master to just help me with names or raised hands because I'm a little technologically challenged on this iPad. So who would want to go first? Anybody who's raised a hand?
Nobody.
That is a delight for a Toastmaster because for a table topic master because I can just select anybody.
Yeah, go ahead.
So why do I not go with? Shall I just select Toastmaster Sridhar Krishnan? Good evening, sir. Can I give you a topic?
I just raised my hand at the last minute.
Oh, great, great. That's called synergy. Okay, so the topic for you is, if the world spoke one language, what would we gain and what might we lose? Toastmaster Sridhar Krishnan, if the world spoke one language, what would we gain and what might we lose? Over to you.
You know, looking at Toastmasters format, there are certain things that we can't talk about. And your topic borders on that. If the world spoke one language, what might we gain and what might we lose? I think we will not lose anything, we'll only gain everything. Because today we find reasons to divide ourselves. We look for reasons to find each other in different pockets. Coming back to myself, having spent over 4 decades in a place called the UAE, I always believed that Bombay was a melting pot. No, UAE is the melting pot where I have met people from various nationalities. Those people spoke various languages, half of them which I didn't learn, but I learned about them. And if I could learn one language, all of us learned one thing, that was humanity. There was a time in Dubai where somebody on the street would offer you a cup of tea just to spend 5 minutes with you. That is humanity. Today, unfortunately, where I am sitting right now in the city of Udaipur, we have lost that. Today, we pocket ourselves with community, religion, and various other things which I don't want to talk about. But yes, if we were to speak, if the world were to speak one language, that one language would only be one thing: humanity. Language is not important. Does a child speak a language? Doesn't speak, but you understand what a child speaks. And that is what we need to get back to. That is what we have forgotten. If we get that back, we are back. Thank you.
We have Toastmaster Namita who has raised her hand.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your thoughts. Okay, Toastmaster Namita, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Can you share a tradition from your culture which you find interesting? Toastmaster Namita, can you share a tradition from your culture which you find interesting? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nisha, and greetings to fellow Toastmasters. This is a very wonderful topic. So one thing I would directly come to the point in my culture, which I find interesting, is food, the variety in food. And food is something which earlier our TMoD also mentioned, a very common point which brings together. It is the one which brings a synergy amongst different cultures. And in our culture, we have, for every festival, we have different dishes which are prepared, and we invite people from different cultures to come and relish it, and everybody likes it. So it's rightly said, food is like where it brings this energy, and it is a very important factor to bring together different cultures as well. So we have also a different, like a stall which is put out of food for different cultures. And here as well, there is no biasness, or nobody even is aware. And whenever it's sort of a competition, and the best taste wins. But then at the end, everyone happy, and there is no one dish which wins here. Okay, so all are winners. So definitely, I feel that in our culture, the factor of having different variety of food is something which I cherish. So thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Nisha.
Thank you. That is so well said. Food, I think, binds all Indians so beautifully. If we remember our marriages, it's all about different varieties of food. Coming to the next speaker, anybody who's raised their hand? Okay. Toastmaster Adarsha Reddy, right? Okay. Because we spoke about food, the next topic is also about food. Food is often called the universal language. What dish from your culture tells a story about humanity? Toastmaster Adarsha Reddy, food is often called the universal language. What dish from your culture tells a story about humanity? Over to you.
Good evening, table topic master and my dear fellow Toastmasters. In my culture, we celebrate a festival called Bathukamma. It's a festival celebrating the nature. I belong to Telangana, and when I was a small kid, I always hated these festival rituals. Like we need to get up early morning, we need to dress up, we need to do some kind of offering to the god. But later on, later stages of my life, I came to know that my parents used to prepare early morning. They used to get up in the mornings and prepare with 9 varieties of pulses all together blended, and they used to make a sweet out of it. And they used to not offer it to any god or anybody, but to the people who needed it. Especially, they used to visit local orphanages or some temples, and they used to give it to them. Indeed, that was I felt that was very kind of them. I didn't know when I was small, but growing up, I felt those that small sweet made the day of those orphans or some beggars near the temples. And I imbibe that one. I still do it. Being in a different country, I'm not able to give it to the people who need it, but I'm preparing it, and I'm serving in my neighborhood, and we enjoy it. I tell my kids. And Batkama is not also about food, it's about the floral thing. It's like we prepare all the flowers, with the flowers we make a goddesses, and we immerse in the water, and it purifies the water. So this is the culture, rich culture. I want to give it to my kids, and my kids has to pass it on to the generation. That is the food. That food is called sattu pindi in our local language. Over to you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. And so wonderful that you keep up the tradition and you're going to share it with your next generation as well. I think that's where Indian traditions come. Okay, who goes next? Is there a guest who is brave enough to take up a challenge? Where are the guests? Any guest? who wants to volunteer? If not, we'll take up one more. Anybody who wants to volunteer? Let me know if there are any raised hands. If not, I'll call the timer. Would the timer want
Sure.
to speak up?
Great, up for the challenge.
Toastmaster Darsh Chadda. Okay, but then who will take care of the timing?
I'll be the timer. The TMoD here. I'll be the timer.
Toastmaster Darsh Chadda. Strength lies in differences, not in similarities. Strength lies in differences, not in similarities. Toastmaster Darsh Chadda. Over to you.
This is a very interesting topic. So, strength lies in differences. What does this mean? When we look at ourselves, when we introspect, we all have some positives and some negatives, some strengths and some weaknesses. I may be good at sports, someone may be good in education, some other person may have some different skills. But there is no one in this world who will have all the possible skills. So, what should we do? Should we think about, I don't have this skill, I should worry about it, try to build every skill possible? No, that is not how the world works. The world works when two different people with two different strengths come together. 1 plus 1 is not always 2. 1 plus 1 can be 3, can be 4, can be 5. When two people from different backgrounds with different strengths come together, that is when they can bring the synergy together and they can enhance what they have and complete what they lack. When two similar people come together, that may or may not be the case. If you both have the same strengths, then you might argue, you might fight, you might compete with each other. But when people of different strengths come together, they build something amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for your thoughts, Toastmaster Darsh. I think we've run out of time, so I would want to close this session. Thank you for this opportunity, and over to the TMoD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nisha, and to all our impromptu speakers. May I request the Zoom master to run the poll for the best table topic speaker?
So, moderator, kindly spotlight Toastmaster Bessy. You can remove the spotlight from my side.
Yeah, I'm doing.
We'll continue. Today, we didn't just practice public speaking. We celebrated stories, cultures, and our shared humanity. Whether it was structured speeches or spontaneous answers, we saw that words have power. Another element that binds us, languages. Someone has rightly said, we all smile in the same language. While our tongues may differ, the heart of language is the same, to express love, pain, joy, curiosity, and connection. Toastmasters is a place where we all become fluent, not in grammar or pronunciation, but in confidence, clarity, and connection. That is the heart of Toastmasters and the heart of humanity. Diversity shapes us, but unity defines us. That concludes this part of the segment. Now let's welcome back my co-Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Renosh. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Bessy. What an exciting table topic session that we all had. Before we get into the next session, can I ask all of you to please switch on your videos? We're going to take photo. Let's capture this moment, synergy between cultures, traditions, people across borders. Let's switch on your cameras and we take a snapshot. You can put your emojis, thumbs up, victory, whatever you want. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've taken the first one. One more. I think people are still switching on the cameras. No worries. Here we go. I'll count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Done. Thank you so much. Now we move to the last segment of our meeting. Oh, yes, it's the evaluation session and quite important for all of us. Calling on stage our general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Christopher Amedia for the evaluation session. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Christopher.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, good evening once again. No club is fulfilling its promise until it brings the art of constructive criticism, was quoted by our founder, Ralph Chestnut Smedley. Constructive criticism is what he meant to refer as feedback. The most important aspect of Toastmasters meeting. If you truly want to improve your public speaking and leadership skills, you need to learn the art of giving feedback as well as receiving feedback. Are you all ready to receive feedback and give feedback? For the benefit of our guest, let me explain this particular segment. This segment has got 3 sub points. The first part of this general evaluation is where I call upon evaluators to deliver their personal evaluation about the speakers today. The second aspect of this meeting is where I will have a team, that is the tag team. They will come here and deliver their personal report of today's meeting. And the final part is where I have the opportunity to give my feedback about today's meeting. Now, there are a lot of places where you can improve your public speaking and leadership skills, but it's only in Toastmasters where you get instant feedback. This is the heart of Toastmasters program. Now, to conduct this segment, I will call upon the evaluators who will be evaluating our speaker's speech. And today, our first speaker, our first evaluator this evening is Anutosh Ghosh. He is from District 124. He is looking forward to enhance his public speaking and evaluation skills. He's got timing 2 to 3 minutes. Anutosh, the virtual screen is all yours.
Great things take time. Stay consistent, stay patient, and trust the journey. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Christopher, and good evening. Greetings, everyone, especially the speaker, Toastmaster Abinaya Kumarasamy. To ensure we are giving a constructive feedback, let us get started with a few commendations. First, the introduction. You started off with a question about something that you didn't plan, but what was exactly required in your life. And it actually captivated me because I was also trying to understand what could it be. And when I got to know about your life, it actually connected with me because that is something that I resonate in my actual life. I also started my career in the IT industry, and now I moved into the L&D industry as a corporate trainer. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhinaya, for connecting exactly what I was looking for. Second point, the standing position with hand movements. You stood and delivered your speech upright. You used the hands effectively and also ensured that the hand movements had exact synergy with the words that you were speaking. Wonderfully crafted. Third point, the eye contact. I found that you were looking right into the webcam and you were also leaning forward at times. So absolutely, I felt connected with your speech. Now, to trust the journey and to move ahead in life, there are certain improvement areas also which we will have to take care as life progresses by. To get started, first recommendation that I have for you is the stage movement. Now, normally, since you are standing and delivering, you had a lot of stage space. So I felt you could have utilized it to a greater purpose. Probably, let's say, towards the left side of yours, you could have mentioned about the child time and your family time, also about your college studies. At the middle part of it, you could have mentioned about your work and the marriage part. And in the right side, you could have mentioned how you transformed your life by taking the life coach session and joining of Toastmasters. And at the end, you could have moved ahead and stood in the middle to deliver about the conclusion. So that way, it would have been an effective utilization of the stage. The second point that I have is about the title. You mentioned trust your journey, but title normally is all about the relatability in the speech and also reiterating at least 2 to 3 times. But I found your title to be mentioned only once at the end. I believe if you could have mentioned it at least a couple of more times with emphasis, it would have been more connecting to the audience. Overall, I felt the introduction, the standing position, and the eye contact were great. If you could work a little bit on the title and the stage movement, you will be more impacted. And thank you so much, Toastmaster Abinaya.
Thank you so
Anutosh.
much.
Let's give him a big round of applause. So that concludes the first evaluator, and we'll move on to a second evaluator this evening. She's an IT auditor, proud mother, and a passionate multitasker. She lives by the quote, "Life is short, do stuff that matters." I completely resonate with this lovely quote, which keeps her motivated. Oh, sorry, I think this is I think there was a change in agenda. So let me call upon the second evaluator. The second evaluator is a leader who is standing tall amongst us. She's got a pair of listening ears and a thinking mind and a big heart. A postgraduate from Mumbai University, an educator par excellence. A person who puts humility over position, a simpleton. Put your sanitized hands together to welcome Vijayalata Valuri, who will evaluate our second speaker's speech. Vijayalata, the virtual screen is all yours.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Christopher, for that very warm and generous introduction. Good evening once again to all present. Toastmaster Girija, your project, I felt, was a perfect synergy between understanding a problem and trying to address the problem. So that was the beauty of your project. And a podcast on building resilience to addictions is like having your finger on the pulse of today's times, because the addictions are increasing and staying away from them requires a lot more willpower and adjustment to the situation. So you tackled it very beautifully. To start with, you defined what is a podcast. For a layman like me who has very limited knowledge, it was very beneficial. You explained why podcast. You also told us that it's a new age skill, offers versatility, and the best part is that we can watch the podcast even while on move, or even listen to the podcast while on move. And the guests are informed. It has also become a medium of education, giving youngsters also a chance to project their capabilities. So it was wonderful because you gave us a synopsis of what is a podcast and then went on to tell what is it that you are going to tell us in this podcast. You also informed us about the previous episodes, Know Your Strengths. So that was a good precursor before we went on to the existing podcast of yours. These are what I found were the good points of your speech, because it really helped us understand what your podcast is going to be all about. But a few areas which I feel, at least I found it a little difficult, was there was too much information in 3 minutes. Too much of information, very difficult to absorb, because the listeners need time to absorb what is being told to them. Your first 2 slides were talking about your previous episodes, but it was moving so fast that we couldn't understand what they were talking about. So if we could have got a little lesser information, so that would have given us more time to absorb and understand what was being told to us. The second recommendation, which I feel is, the speaker, if I have read it right, was Ananya Chitale, right? But we don't know who the speaker is. We only know she's Ananya Chitale. We should know the background of the speaker to be convinced with what they are saying. The speaker has to be an authority on that subject, only then can we be convinced. And could have edited the ad, if that is possible, when it got popped up, when you're presenting your podcast, it's not possible. Okay, because if you would have edited, that would have given you that much more time to show much more of your podcast. But in summary, it was a very good and relevant topic for today's times. And as an evaluator, it is very difficult for me to encapsulate an evaluation of a podcast of that nature. But wonderfully done. We understand that time is a constraint and probably did not allow you to go into more details. But looking forward to more speeches from you. All the very best to you. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Christopher.
Wow, what an evaluation. Let's give her a big round of applause. Wonderful. Thanks, Vijayalata. We'll move on to a final evaluator this evening who I've introduced almost a bit. I'll go for the final part of her introduction. Namita enjoys sports and currently is learning German and she's loving it. Put your sanitized hands together to welcome Namita once again. Namita, the virtual screen is all yours.
Thank you so much. So, greetings to all. Well, if I would have called myself, I would have got this opportunity, then I would have called myself James Bond. Not only then when I was young watching the James Bond series, but even today when I work as IT auditor, nothing has changed. The only aspect that has changed is I work with spreadsheets rather than those spy gadgets which I did when I was young. So, Toastmaster Monica, the speech title was simply great. Okay, it effectively used the synergy of metaphors, comparing the experience of taste, yeah, of sweet and salty. It was a pleasant surprise that that object was a Monaco biscuit, which I didn't even guess when I heard the title. So that was a very great title, and you delivered the purpose very well. It came out very well in your story. Also, the story where the brilliant Barkha, I mean, the innocent Barkha was handled by the brilliant principal, who so nicely handled that situation. So Barkha was so innocent to name herself as Monaco, and instead of just shouting and making her shut, the principal explained her and convinced her, like a win-win situation, and wherein Barkha agreed to rename herself as Monica. So this is something which I feel is currently missing in our education system, to understand the children's emotion and then take the action. So I really love that aspect as well. Your body language was perfect. Now, just to make that 5-star speech a 7-star, I would very small recommendation, like regarding the humor part. Okay, you could have taken good pauses instead of asking the audience, I hope you all are laughing, and to stress the object, you could have made it more elongated, like Monaco. So this would have put that emphasis of that object into the audience. Rest, overall, it was a mind-blowing speech, and the theme was also very well delivered in your message. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Namita. Let's give her a big round of applause. Wonderful. What a lovely evaluation. So that concludes the evaluation from our lovely evaluators. If you see the first segment, now it's concluded. Now I move on to the second segment. Now, before I do that, I would like to ask the timer, have all our evaluators qualified?
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Evaluator 1 and 2 slightly went ahead of time. Evaluator 1 took 3 minutes 26 seconds. Evaluator 2 has taken 3 minutes 13 seconds. And Evaluator 3 is well within her time with 2 minutes 21 seconds.
Okay, thank you, timer, for that report. So we will have the poll for the best evaluator. Now, while that's going on, if you see, evaluation focuses on communication skills, general evaluation focuses on leadership skills. And to conduct this segment, I have a synergy of wonderful role players whom I call them as tag team. So I'll start off with the timer. Timer, can you give us your report about today's meeting?
Sure, thank you so much. I will be presenting my report for the second section, since the first section has already been covered. For the table topics, speaker 1, Sridhar Krishnan has taken 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Speaker 2, Namita, has taken 1 minute 39 seconds. Speaker 3, Adarsha, has taken 1 minute 55 seconds. And speaker 4, Darsh, has taken 1 minute 22 seconds. Over to you.
Also, are we on time with regards to the meeting agenda?
Yes, I believe we're on time, right?
And meeting started on time. Absolutely. Let's give Darsh a big round of applause. Thank you, Darsh, for that wonderful report. We'll move on to a second role player this evening is the R counter, Adarsha Reddy, a verbal traffic cop. Can I have your report, please?
Yes. What a synergy today. So let me start with my report. In prepared speeches, the speaker 1, she used I 14 times, but 3 times. And speaker 2 used like 3 times and 5 times. Speaker 3 and 2 times, but 4 times, like 2 times, and because 3 times. Table topics, speaker 1, but 2 times. And speaker 2, it was 7 times and 5 times, and 3 times. Speaker 3, it was me, I couldn't notice. And speaker 4, I didn't find anything. Evaluation, speaker 1, but 3s, evaluator 2, but 2, and evaluator 3 are 5 times and 3 times. Thank you.
Wow, that's a detailed report. Thanks, Adarsha. Let's give her a big round of applause. Wonderful. As I said, it's not tag team, it's tag team. So the second A is our active listener. Active listener, Sridhar, can I have your report?
This is the time when all of you have been in school and have report cards being given to you. Your dad had to sign it. Now I will sign it. Typically, what happens is we remember things that happened most recently. So let me go backwards to help you out. All right, the first question. Whoever needs to answer, raise a hand. There's something written right behind the general evaluator. Can somebody say what that is?
Yeah.
I just heard a
It's
yeah.
Dream until your dream comes true.
Yes, I think the question paper leaked here. Okay, let's go backwards and make things a little more difficult. Who was the founder? And this will not be answered by Aurora Toastmasters. Who was the founder of Aurora Toastmasters? I see absolute silence in the room.
Sunita.
Sunita. Who
yes.
said that? Yes. Okay. Well, let's go a little further. Let's make things a little more interesting. Since when has Toastmaster Nisha, the table topic master, been a Toastmaster? Obviously, Toastmaster Nisha cannot answer.
2019.
Have you been listening? I'm sorry, that's not right.
2020 should be.
Yes, yes, that's absolutely right. Some people have been listening. Absolutely right. Now, which state does the speaker Adarsha Reddy come from?
Telangana.
Yes. It gives me more confidence to say कि हाँ भाई कोई तो सुन रहा है. Huh? Now, who were the two people responsible for the inception of Eloquent Elites? Eloquent Elites, you cannot answer.
Toastmaster Kusuma Rao and was the founder president.
Toastmaster
Try
Girija.
again. Try again.
And
Two people who had a discussion and said, let's form a club like this. One was from Toastmasters and one was from
Rotary.
Rotary. Who are they?
So one was from Toastmaster, one was from Rotary.
Yes, I know that. I just said that. It's
So
okay.
Was it
It was
Girija from?
it was Mark Melanie from Toastmasters and Deepak Menon from Rotary. It happens. Memory fades. No problem.
It's the reverse.
What is the nationality of the Sergeant at Arms Dharini?
Singaporean.
Singaporean.
Yes. Yes. Confidence बढ़ रहा है. Somebody is listening. Okay. Now, speaker number 1, Abinaya. Where was she born?
Tamil Nadu.
Abinaya, obviously you can't answer.
Erode, Tamil Nadu.
Yes. Who said that? Yes. Erode, Tamil Nadu. And let's be with Abinaya for some time. What was Abinaya's childhood dream to become? What profession?
A lawyer.
Lawyer.
A lawyer. I think we have absolutely attentive audience. Christopher, full marks.
Okay.
If I have two more minutes, go to that. I think
we are a bit behind schedule actually.
I think we'll move on. I think full marks to the audience. Good stuff.
Let's give Sridhar a big round of applause. Thank you, Sridhar. You did not even test their listening ears. You also tested their visual skills as well, so which was brilliant. Yeah, so it was an eye test. So thank you. Our final role player this evening, the grammarian. Toyin, can I have your report, please?
Thank you, General Evaluator. And thank you all for the generous use of the word for today, synergy. So the people we actually use the word, we have Toastmaster Muna, Toastmaster Punima, TMoD Renosh, Toastmaster Abinaya, MONIKA, Nisha, Bessy, Namita, Deshpande, Anutosh, Ghosh, Toastmaster Vigilante G, Toastmaster Christopher, and Toastmaster Adasha. So congratulations to you all. And thank you again for using the word of play. So we had some brilliant use of words that I got from a couple of speakers. And the first one I would like to say, to blend the brilliance of energy, blend the brilliance of energy, then sandwiched between an elder sister and a younger brother. It was a good metaphor. I liked that. Then we all smile in the same language, and love those biscuits like Romeo and Juliet. So it was a very good use of personification and has the quality. So I love those. And some words that we could change, or should note next time we'll speak. And there's one that says exceeding beyond the maximum time. So that was a little bit of tautology. So exceeding the maximum time could have been used. There is no biasness. So biasness, because this is a formal meeting, so it's a safer word to use is bias. So there's no bias. And just now I heard that's the we should use. I was just informed. I recently heard that. So not just now I heard. No, it's then they used to not offer to. They say so. It's better you use they didn't use to offer to. So that's it. And another one I just want to say and add to it that so that she can leave the obsession of the. So it's better to say obsession with. So that would have been a better word. So thank you so much for all listening, and thank you again for the use of the word today.
Let's give Toyin a big round of applause. Thank you, Toyin. What a wonderful job you have done. You picked up the gems as well as the germs in the language. Brilliant. Now that concludes the second segment of this evaluation. Now I move on to the final, which is general evaluation. And this is my personal opinion about today's meeting, or probably feedback. Now, let me tell you, I express my gratitude to Muna Moiz for inviting me for this brilliant meeting. When I joined the meeting at 5:10 Qatar time, 8 members are already in, which was brilliant. So that showcased commitment. This is the first time that I'm attending a meeting between 2 districts, District 116 and District 98. Fabulous meeting. I think the way it started was brilliant. The Sergeant at Arms came in and got into the role, talking about the do's and don'ts, making sure that things are followed during this virtual meeting. So very well done. A lot of emphasis been focused on virtual background, check on audio and video, which was brilliant before the meeting. So keep it up. Then came in the club president, Mona, who was very well introduced. And I think she started the meeting really, really well. Had all the lovely elements. The most important element is, the changes in the agenda highlighted, and she used the parliamentary procedure where you propose and adopt. So brilliant job there. Now, this is a joint meeting between Qatar and India. So Aurora Toastmasters Club and Eloquent Elite. Then came in the club president, distinguished Toastmaster Renosh Thomas, who was very well introduced. And I think the way you explained the history about Toastmasters as well as your club was brilliant. I learned a lot about this club. There was a brilliant synergy between both the president, and that showcased with the proper planning that was put into practice. And I think both the club had a meeting where how this meeting could have been done better, all those areas were looked into. So, and wonderful analogy by Mona, where she spoke about wedding planning, and I think I resonate with this. Then came in, she acknowledged our district leader, our district, anything about the club is district, and we had the district leader, division G director, Purnima, who was present. She was acknowledged. She came and gave few words of thought, and it was so nice of her to say a few words. And during that meeting, we had almost 26 members attending. I don't know how many people we have still. Okay, we have the same number. Good. Toastmaster of the day came in and gave a lovely start of the meeting. Reflect. I really enjoyed the theme and the way she connected so much of it, right? International Day of Indigenous People Culture. I think if you have not learned something from this meeting, how many of you had fun in today's meeting? Show of hands, reactions. Yes, brilliant. If you're having fun, you're learning, that means you're enjoying. What I liked about the Toastmaster of the day was the way she's dressed. She carried herself wearing a lovely sari, talks about the culture, which was brilliant, as well as distinguished Toastmaster Renosh, wearing a lovely kurta. What a change, when you seen him at the start of the meeting, he was wearing lovely tie and suit, and then suddenly he's got himself changed into a kurta. The word of the day was used and it was displayed very well. So brilliant job there. Speakers did a marvelous job. All the speakers chose the presentation mastery. Can anyone tell me what are the 5 core competencies that Toastmasters focuses on? 5 core competencies, quickly. Anyone? Unmute yourself. The Pathways program is based on 5 core competencies. The first one is public speaking, strategic leadership, interpersonal communication, management, and confidence. This is the whole Pathways program in nutshell, right? How it is. These are the 5 core competencies, but there are 300 other competencies that Toastmaster International focuses on. So I think we really enjoyed. I think all the role players did a fabulous job. The table topic master, Nisha, did a marvelous job with simple topics connected to the theme. So brilliant job there by our table topic master. Now, so that concludes my report. Am I done? Yes, I can see everybody wants to get rid of me. Are you sure? So let me take 2 minutes of my time on what we could have done better, and I would leave some food for thought for our role players. Now, I'm sure our guests would be wondering why these people are applauding for every now and then. Let me tell you, my good friend, distinguished Toastmaster Melvin Butalo once told me, the body has got 340 pressure points. 28 of them are in our palm. The more you applaud, you feel energetic, enthusiastic, happy, and smart. But in Toastmasters, we applaud before the speaker comes because we want to encourage, build that self-esteem. And after that speaker has finished, again, we applaud to recognize the competence or the skill that has been showcased to all the members. So that's why we applaud. Now, I need to give feedback to our evaluators. Now, we had 3 evaluators. Without naming them, I would like to tell you what I liked about our evaluators. All our evaluators used the word I noticed, I felt, I observed, which was brilliant, which is very nice, because there is a difference between advice and feedback. Feedback is more of information. Advice is opinion. We don't need opinion. We need is information. And today all our evaluators did that. So brilliant job. What I would encourage, if we ask our speakers to make sure you stand and use the speaking area while delivering a speech, I encourage evaluation is also a speech. Turn on your cameras, remove your virtual background, and use the lovely speaking area. So make sure that you deliver evaluation just like how I'm delivering a general evaluation. This is the only thing that I would like to highlight. And last part is summarize. Summarize what are the 3 areas that the speaker has to work upon. So this is something important for our evaluators to take back. Now, areas of improvement, what we could have done better. There are a couple of points that I would like to highlight for the benefit of all our members. First thing, when we introduce start of the meeting, involve guests. Ask the guest, who invited them, ask them to speak. I have not heard the guest. Hopefully at the end of the meeting, somebody would speak up. So recognize the member who encouraged them. Bringing guests is absolutely important, because this is your opportunity where you can change someone's life. Just like distinguished Toastmaster Rihanna Pinto changed my life, you have an opportunity to change somebody's life. So invite the guest. For the icebreaker Renosh speech, distinguished Toastmaster, I always would like to highlight, if there is an icebreaker delivering speech, you do not need to introduce him, because that speech is her introducing herself. So do not introduce. It's an icebreaker speech. Directly let her introduce herself. Now, again, the third point that I would like to highlight is this is not a webinar. We had 14 members out of 26 attending who had their cameras on, the rest cameras off. Turn on your camera, show your lovely face. Do not lie on your bed and enjoy this meeting, because you have to be mentally as well as physically, virtually present with us. So turn on your camera. For the speakers, make sure the camera is set like this, so you don't have to look down. Make sure that a couple of speakers had cameras kept down. So make sure that it's at eye level. A typical way is both your hands should be seen in a virtual screen, just like you can see mine. A simple technique that I would like to offer on how you can remember the meeting segments. The first one is PI. A meeting segment, Toastmaster always of the day can use PI for the benefit of a guest to remember. P stands for prepared speech, I is impromptu speech segment, and E is evaluation. So this is the whole element of Toastmasters meeting for someone to remember. Tag team is timer, our counter, active listener, and grammarian. Always call upon the grammarian first. Why the grammarian first? Because the word of the day can be used by all the role players. So always the grammarian. And then comes our topics master. Topic master, what you could have done better is simple. One thing that I would like to encourage you is try to show a technique for the guest. What could they improve on handling impromptu speech? A typical technique that is used is prep, position, reason, example, and again position. So show a technique on how our guest can handle table topics. So something that you could encourage. And again, a last final point from my side before I conclude for the Toastmaster of the day. After every segment, ask the timer, are we on time as per the meeting agenda? Because if I have received the meeting agenda 10 minutes late, I'm going to conclude 10 minutes late. But if I know that I have got 5 minutes, I need to brush up, I need to rush, I need to do things quickly. This is my take on today's meeting. I thoroughly enjoyed, and I'm really happy and thankful to Mona for having me for today's meeting. With this, the virtual screen is to our lovely Toastmaster of the day. The screen is yours.
Thank you. Can we all give a big round of applause to distinguished Toastmaster Christopher? Thank you for your suggestions, and I'm sure all of the members over here will definitely take it up in their future meetings. Can I call the Zoom master to kindly run the poll for the best role player and the best auxiliary role player, which should shortly come on your screens. While that is happening, right. Dream until your dream comes true, which has come to reality today. While our world is a mosaic of different languages, festivals, and cuisines, these very differences serve as a vibrant testament to our shared human experience. Ultimately, it is this celebration of our diversity that strengthens our understanding and reinforces the profound truth that we are all part of one interconnected humanity. We, Toastmaster Bessy, and myself, hope we're able to take you through an exciting journey that breaks through boundaries and borders. Remember, many cultures, one humanity. Over to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Muna Moiz, for the award ceremony, vote of thanks, and to adjourn the meeting. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Muna.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Renosh. Let's give it up for the two Toastmasters of the day today. Thank you so much. Now, I feel like I ate sushi, had a side of dumplings, and had a plate of nasi goreng and some vada and so many things all at once in 2 hours. If I was to give a metaphor for this meeting, then that's what it felt like today. And it was indeed a beautiful collaboration. And I must say, this wedding has been really, really pretty. Now, since we are running short of time, I'm going to go really fast. So, how do you do a vote of thanks for so many dishes served? But I will try. First, the general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Christopher, thank you for very quickly responding to my invite and coming as general evaluator and offering your valuable suggestions to all of us. We will all take it into account. Thank you so much. All the guests who attended today, you gave your valuable time and you listened to everything. And I hope that you gained a lot from this experience. And please do get in touch with us for more details on Toastmasters. I wish there was time to call everybody here, but because we are running short of time, please stay back behind after so we can network. And please do keep in touch with us. Now, both Vice President Education from both clubs, Toastmaster Girija, Toastmaster Suchitra, your meticulous planning is the reason why we were able to do the meeting the way we did today. All of your behind the scenes worked. We see it, we recognize it, and thank you so much for all the work you put in and all the role players for all the work that you put in to make this meeting a success. Distinguished Toastmaster Renosh, thank you so much for guiding us and helping us synergize this meeting to the best version of it. Now, if we can do the award ceremony really quickly. If the polls are all done, are they done? Or we'll
The
start with
last
the
poll is
certificate of
happening now. The main role players.
Last-
Last poll is going on. Yes.
Okay, so I will officially close both meetings
Adjourn
today
the
for both clubs, adjourn the meetings. So meeting 206 for Aurora Toastmasters Club and meeting 87 for Eloquent Elites Toastmasters Club is adjourned. And can we share the certificate of appreciation for the invitee role players while we wait for the poll results?
Yeah, 1 minute.
So we would like to appreciate those who have given their time, although they are not a member of either club, but they have given their time and precious time and energy and their insightful words for both clubs and to support our joint meeting. So there are 4 Toastmasters here. Suchitra, can I start announcing Toastmaster Suchitra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 minute.
So
1
first,
minute.
She's sharing.
One.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Rija, you are sharing?
No, I'm not sharing.
Okay, 1
It's with
minute.
you. Yeah, it has to go to the top. I think. Yes.
Yeah. So
okay.
firstly, we would like to appreciate our general evaluator today. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Christopher, for attending our meeting as general evaluator.
Second one, please.
Second, our first evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Anutosh Ghosh. Again, thank you so much for giving your valuable time. And next is Toastmaster Namita, our third evaluator, I believe. Also, thank you so much for giving us your valuable time and your support. And finally, our active listener who had us all on our feet, Toastmaster Sridhar. Thank you so much for your support. So that concludes the certificates of appreciation. So let's go on to the award winners. We'll start with the first poll we did, that is the prepared speeches. So the best speaker for today is
Monica.
Toastmaster Monika. Thank you and congratulations to you, Toastmaster Monika. The next, are we ready with the next? Best table topic speak?
Yeah.
Best table topic speaker for today is none other than Toastmaster Adarsha. Congratulations. And our next is best evaluator.
Okay.
Toastmaster Vijay Lata Valluri. Congratulations. And the next poll was for best auxiliary role player, and that goes to our grammarian. Is that correct, Toastmaster Sujitra?
Yeah.
Toastmaster Toyn. That was our auxiliary role player. And then primary role player, the best primary role player.
Primary role.
Before that, there is this meeting experience enhancement.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Meeting experience. Okay. The best meeting experience enhancer goes to
Sergeant at Arms, Dharini Rajangam.
the Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Dharini Rajangam. And finally, the best primary role player. Distinguished Toastmaster Renosh Thomas, our one of the Toastmasters of the day today. Thank you so much. That concludes the awards, and we have adjourned the meeting already. You can unmute yourself and we can network. Thank you so much.
Okay, can we stop the recording?